Last year here in New York at the Wind Up Watch Fair, Christopher Ward announced and previewed the Bel Canto, a wildly popular watch for the brand that immediately sold out. Fast forward to 2023 at the San Francisco Wind Up Watch Fair, Christopher Ward making another big announcement, and that is their take on an integrated bracelet watch. Today, I have two of those watches to show you. I have the titanium version in purple, and then I have the stainless steel version on a bracelet in white. These watches are obviously drawing comparisons to some very popular integrated bracelet watches. They are saying that they are inspired by Gerald Genta, but a lot of people are pointing to Chapek and the Antarctic. However, a lot of people are also pointing to the PRX. I don't think these are bad comparisons at all. They're both amazing watches, and if Christopher Ward are giving you the same quality as they are on their other watches and applying that same formula, this watch will definitely be a winner. So let's flip the camera and take a look at the titanium and stainless steel versions of the Christopher Ward 12. So as I mentioned in the intro, I have both to show you. I have the titanium version with the purple dial. That is in my left hand. In my right hand, this is sort of the white silver dial in stainless steel. Now I've already sized the purple version for my 7.5 inch wrist, and I've been wearing it just to try it out. I'm also going to be wearing this stainless steel version, and I will be doing a direct head-to-head comparison with the PRX with the stainless steel version. I think that is a video that needs to be made because every time I hear this watch being mentioned, people also mention the PRX, and is it more premium than the PRX? There are a lot of questions sort of circling around that. So I'm gonna do a video doing a direct comparison. So today, we're gonna focus in on both of these watches. You're getting 100 meters of water resistance with both sapphire crystal textured dials. You get pretty good lume on both. Both have a really beautiful bracelet. It's sort of reminiscent of what you get from the PRX as well. However, you do get screwed links. And what they've done here, and we'll take a look at the stainless steel version very quickly, in between each one of these links you have a little bit of polish. Now that is something that the PRX does. There are a bunch of integrated bracelet watches that do that. This purple dial, the titanium version with the fume pattern, so you're getting sort of a black on the outer edge, purple, dark purple to a light purple throughout the dial. You have a texture, it's their cross, so that cross that is the Christopher Ward logo, which is applied right there. It is the texture that they're using for the dial. So the dial here is exactly the same between the stainless steel and the titanium version, except this gets a fume pattern. You're also getting applied indices. Those are filled with lume. They're sort of dagger indices. And then you have fence post hands, which are a cross between fence post and sword hands. Those are filled with lume as well. Both of these watches get a date at the 6 o'clock. The biggest difference between these two, obviously, this purple version is in titanium. They're only making two titanium versions. There's a blue dial and this purple dial. Also, the second biggest difference between the two is the fact that this gets a Sellita SW300, which is COSC certified. This does not. This gets a Sellita SW200 and is not certified. So that is the biggest difference between the two, I would say. Probably one of the bigger reasons of the price difference as well. So there is a pretty big price difference between the two. And then there's a third difference. Of course, it is the thickness. That's because of the movement itself. So I believe this is well under 10 millimeters thick, and this is just around that 10 millimeter thick range, which I have to say, even though it is thicker, it really isn't that thick at all. So we're gonna do measurements on the titanium version first. By the way, I believe this is titanium grade 2, not grade 5. There are polished edges, however, this does scratch pretty easily, and I've noticed just from wearing it a little bit that it is already scratching. So grade 5 titanium would not scratch that quickly, and there is no extra hard coating on this. So definitely keep that in mind. You are paying a premium for titanium, and it will look scratched quicker than the stainless steel version. So very quickly, if you grab this at the case itself, it's around 39 and change. So 39.3, I would say. It wears like a 40mm watch. It wears smaller than the PRX does because the case is actually tapered more. And again, in the next video I do with the stainless steel version, doing a direct comparison, you're going to see that the PRX definitely wears bigger. The bracelet, where it connects to the case, is also wider, so that adds to the size of the watch as well. So basically a 40mm watch. That's not including the extra crown guards that you're getting, so it probably wears in that 40 to 41mm range, somewhere in that neighborhood. And you have a 40mm lug to lug. However, you do have end links that do hang over the case itself, and that's just because this is an integrated bracelet watch. So 51mm lug to lug. I would say it wears like something in the 45mm range, somewhere in that neighborhood. So really not that bad. It actually wears really nice and really comfortable. 5.8mm on the crown. Again, that is a screwed in crown, and there are little screws that are holding in those crown guards. I really like the crown guards on this watch. I like the look of the crown guards on this watch. I know that some people may not, but I do. 9.2mm, and I have to say the sapphire crystal is slightly raised off of the case, if you could see that, and the fact that it's 9.2mm thick is phenomenal. So that's the purple dial, a real crowd pleaser. A lot of people really like that watch. I got a lot of positive feedback when I posted it on my Instagram. Now, the stainless steel version, this is the white version as well, as I mentioned. This is exactly the same dimensions-wise as the titanium watch we were just looking at, except for the thickness. So the thickness on here is a little bit thicker, and it is 10.2, so just around 1mm thicker than the titanium version. That isn't that bad, I have to tell you. You do get a butterfly clasp, and when you close this up, and you could close either side first, it does say Christopher Ward, and I do notice there is a lot less play in this bracelet than what you would get from a Tissot PRX. Again, comparing it directly to the Tissot PRX, but I think this would probably compete better with the likes of Maurice Lacroix or brands like that. The High Life is definitely a watch that I would probably compare this to. There are a bunch of different integrated bracelet watches from smaller brands out there that I think this watch is going to sort of knock out. The PRX is still going to be around. It's still going to be sort of the king of integrated bracelet watches that are affordable. This is less affordable. However, you're getting a noticeable step up in quality. So if you're looking for that, obviously this is the way to go. Add in that they made a titanium version, and that makes the biggest difference, I think, for a lot of people. People love titanium. I am one of those people. So the fact that this is titanium makes it pretty different from a lot of other integrated bracelet watches out there in this price range. So there aren't a lot of integrated bracelet watches made in full titanium with a textured dial that's fume and powered by a Sellita SW300, which is COSC certified. All of that for under $2,000. That is actually really, really good. On my wrist today, I have another Christopher Ward. This is, I believe, a C63 Dive Master. I don't remember exactly which one this is, but I bought this a long time ago. This is a limited edition. It was like a limited edition of 125, I want to say, or 150. Really awesome watch, hand wound, Sellita movement inside. Really great price on this as well. I think it was around $600 or $700. So you could see that Christopher Ward are really stepping it up, not only in quality, but also price as we look at these 12 integrated bracelet watches. There is the titanium on my 7.5 inch wrist. One thing I also noticed is I believe since you have a smaller bracelet on here, it does taper really well, probably a little bit more than the PRX, and what the result is a very comfortable watch. This is a very, very comfortable watch, especially with the titanium because it's light. Really great looking watch. Gets a lot of compliments. A lot of people actually notice this watch on my wrist. It looks a lot more expensive than it actually is, under $2,000, around $1,900. Beautiful watch, really nice bracelet. And like I said, I'll do plenty of close-ups of all of the components of this watch. And there is the stainless steel on my 7.5 inch wrist. It wears slightly taller than the titanium. The titanium obviously sits very close to the wrist. This sits a little bit higher, but that being said, obviously not that high. It's around 10 millimeters thick, which is excellent. Well, lume, very good on this watch. Very bright on the hands and indices. No lumed second hand. I wish it did have a lumed second hand so you could see that it's working in the dark. That's my own thing, but other than that, I think the lume is excellent. Obviously much better than what you get from the PRX. Again, I'll be doing a full video where I'm comparing these to the PRX. However, there you go. Lume does last long and it looks really bright. Well, there you go, guys. I really do love the PRX. However, I have to say this is definitely a step above the PRX. That titanium version might be 2 steps above the PRX, especially considering the movement that they're using. Tell me what you guys think down in the comments below. I think what Christopher Ward are trying to do here is obviously target a higher end audience. They're charging more money for this watch, but you are getting a lot more watch for the money. This is a true sports watch with a screwed in crown and case back, 100 meters of water resistance. It really wears slim to the wrist because both movements are actually pretty slim. It's a really good looking watch, great for every day, and I think a lot of people will really enjoy it. Tell me what you think down in the comments below. I want to hear from you guys. Please also don't forget to like, subscribe, hit that bell icon. It is super helpful for the channel, and I very much appreciate it. Anyway, guys, thank you for logging on. I will catch you guys in the next video.